o'clock. We're going to call our meeting to order. So if you'll stand, we'll have the invocation. If you'll bow with me, I'll pray for us. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the weather, the beautiful weather, the way we can see you working all around us. Lord, we thank you for your presence in our lives. We pray, Lord, that you would be with us tonight as we seek to do the business of the school district, that we would be able to focus on our kids and what's best for them. We thank you for opportunities you give us, money you provide for us, and all the different resources, most especially the human beings that are a part of our district that make such a difference in our kids' lives. I pray that you would bless each one of them, whether their task is to hand a lunch, to drive a bus, or to administrate over a classroom or over a school. I pray that you would bless them. I pray that you would give them endurance and ideas and encouragement, and that they would be able to offer their best gifts to our students. I pray that you'd go with us forward tonight, Lord, as we seek to do good things for our kids, that we would have clarity of thought and understanding, that we would make wise decisions, and most of all, that we would be agreeable even when we don't agree. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Say the pledge with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated. And we'll
Please, yes.
Okay, so we have one item that we're going to move to the top of the agenda even before we do our recognitions. James has got to go, and this was an important item that he wants to be a part of. So we're going to accommodate that, and we're going to move up item number 2 on our action items. Consider approval in addition of replacement of Griggs Field turf and track to Columbia High School bond project. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Ray's made a motion to consider,
I'll second.
and James is second. Okay, now we can have discussion.
All right, so you'll see on the screen and shared with you in board book, the turf and the track has been on the planning list, with us taking care of the addition of the ag barn last month. What we would have would be this project, and then after that, we would be looking at the remaining funds to put towards additional roofs in the district. So what you have is, this is the rendition. Our Coach Pena and some of the coaches have designed this. You see it's a little different design. You can see the track is mostly a gray-silver track. You can see the end zones are maroon. You can see the gray and the silver outlines. And I'll put something in your board letter. If you'll remember when the 2020 bond, when we were doing the tours and we were challenged to respect the history, the true history of the area. And as I put it, in 1927, one of the coaches and teachers at Columbia High School is a guy named James A. Creighton. So being somebody that's a history major in Texas history, he is a major publisher back in the day of Texas history. And he actually taught here. And so he, after he left, he was in Corpus Christi ISD, and some of the former Roughnecks got him to write a book called The Magic Years about his time and that period of when the school district opened back in 1920, early 1920s through the 30s. While he was coaching football here, on page 32 of The Magic Years, he refers to the Roughnecks as the maroon and gray, not the maroon and white, right? And so, a lot of things in Columbia history have gotten kind of moved around, much like when the fight song got changed to the school song played fast. And we've more or less corrected a lot of those things, the original. So we do have documentation that when Roughnecks started playing football, they were maroon and gray. Now, granted, that probably had something to do with what kind of clothing was available back then, but they were the maroon and gray. And so as you've seen, in our uniforms, we've more or less taken out the black and put the gray in as the third color. And so that's where this is coming from. In our design, much with the new Columbia High School, you can see we do have that silver aluminum look in several different areas. So it's been something we've incorporated. Okay, so this is the design of what athletics is asking for. And then, Cody, if you'll pull up the proposals and you can go to the numbers, please. So you can see for the track and the turf, the original, when I say the base part of the track and the turf, you can see that number comes in at $1,046,920. And then when you go to add the gray into the track area, Cody, if you'll zoom up, there's an additional $59,220 that, so it would be both of those that would be the total of the design you're looking at there. Now, much like when we did, those of you that are on the board, when we did the turf that we had now 10 years ago, you know that we put it in, it had an 8-year warranty and a 10-year lifespan, and we're at 10 years lifespan right now. We do have warranty and maintenance repairs on that track. If you go out there right now, there's several different areas that have been cut and placed so that we can play. I mean, I don't know if you can see them from the stands, but you can definitely see them when we get out there. But it's time to do that. Much like what we did then, we went with the top of the line track and the top of the line turf. This is the same thing. It's the top of the line track. It's the top of the line turf today. This does come with a 10-year warranty, so the life expectancy is 12 years and not 10 years. Okay, so it's a higher grade of product. The turf that we're asking to put down has only been installed in 3 high schools in Texas. The other installations are all collegiate and professional fields. It does have the cool play in it, so that that mixture that's put in and ground up into the rubber part of the base of the track is in this again. And it's something that our coaches really, really want, because when they come out for 2-a-days, it does reduce it anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees, depending upon the temperature, as far as that surface and how your feet feel. So with that, I'll leave it with you.
So you're saying the alternate price needs to be added to the
To that,
total?
you would be approving both, right? And so the original part of the track is a reddish color like ours is now. And what you would be doing is that's to make it to where when they put the track in, the red never bleeds through. It would always be a gray and maroon. And if you'll go back to the picture, one of the differences is you can see what's called the exchange zones. You see 3 areas. Those are normally painted. And so one of the things that has really happened now is that they actually paint those exchange zones so you don't have to stripe them anymore. So what happens is, you know, normally in a track meet, you have judges on the curves. When a kid's running, if a kid comes out of the exchange zone or if something's not done during that time period, then a flag is raised and they get DQ'd. Well, if you're on an older track and the lines aren't clear, and so what this does is it really kind of, it eliminates that issue. So.
So where does this make us stand on the bond?
It would be the same thing. I had given you the planning number of around 1 million. This is almost right at 1.1. So you're in the same vicinity.
We're still looking good as far as the figures on the.
Yes, yeah, figures haven't changed. I mean, you're going to be looking somewhere in that area of about $3 million when we get to the end of the project to use.
So after the field turf, we'll
Yes.
still have a balance. You're saying a 3?
Correct.
Okay. So from a maintenance strategy from the future, how long does a track last?
Well, when we put this one in, we were saying at 10 years. The one that the turf and the track right now, we said 10. If you put this one in, we're saying 12.
12? Something to think about, I don't know, something for the future. I know it probably ain't gonna happen this time, but something on the maintenance strategy for the future of the district. Would it be smart to offset these two big costs so it wouldn't be a big hit all at once to kind of offset them 5 years apart?
Well, the problem right now is gonna be how to fund the project.
Yeah. And I'm just saying for future funding.
I agree with you completely. It's the same thing I brought up last year on the school buses. You know, at some point, we have to put in our budget money that's gonna go into,
Yeah,
you know.
but, I mean, this is my 24th year in the district. We've never put purchases like that in the budget. They've always been fund balance type expenditures.
Okay.
Mhm. Buses, same thing, right? We buy buses like tonight, when we find a grant, things, when it's economical to do, rather than putting a strain.
So like, the next time we would have to go out for a bond, then.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to. I mean, we did, in the past, we did the turf out of fund balance.
Yeah.
But it was pulled, I mean, you could pull 1.1 out of fund balance and do it.
Did we do them both at the same time, though?
Yes. We've always done the track and the turf. at the
I'm
same
just looking
time.
at it from a strategy standpoint
Yeah.
to set the
No, I
district
totally
up
get it.
for the future,
I totally get what you're saying.
you know.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
shoot yourself in the foot for the
Yeah.
future because it's a big chunk.
So what projects are you talking about? I mean, what,
You did that track one time and then turf the next
Yes.
time, yeah.
Oh, well,
Splitting the two big items,
uh,
you know, even though you
well,
might not.
the problem is, the problem's gonna be when you do the turf, you're gonna damage the track doing it.
Yeah,
And
that
so
was
if you
my
don't replace
question.
it at the same time, doing it, if, you could say, okay, we're gonna not do the track for 4 years, but when you come back and do the track, you're gonna damage the turf. I mean, it all needs to be done at the same time to keep,
So you never can split them to,
most people do both at the same time. It's just,
I've
it's a
seen
more
them
convenient
do
product.
Like a semi-resurface before to try to get 2 or 3 more years out of them, but I've never seen them
Well,
not doing both at the same
So
time.
we have, and so if you'll remember, the track we have right now is what's called a full pour. Before full pours, we had a different project. It was more like a mat. And so when you had that mat, you could like recoat it and repaint it.
Right.
The full pour is different. Full pour is like pouring the rubber. And so you can't paint or you can't do that. And so, we've had a track in the past, so back in 2007, when we put the turf and the track in, at 8 years, we were able to come back and paint it.
Yeah.
And it looked new and it helped it last longer, but with the full pour, you can't.
Any concern with the soccer lines being black?
That's we kept the soccer lines, what was asked for the last time. So one of the issues we got into last time is our soccer lines used to be wider because our coaches because they were allowed to be wider. And so we had them moved in.
Okay.
And that was the color that was picked in. And so we've left them the same.
Yeah, does it have a scale on there? I was just trying to see, because on those throw-ins and on your corner kick, those corner kicks still look like that's gonna be really tight.
And it is, but the problem is how the track's built, right? Some tracks are wider. Ours just happens to be narrow. As you can see, we don't have the sideline space that a lot of fields have because our track is more narrow.
Yep.
Or elongated, if you want to say.
All right, I have questions.
Mhm.
Over here on the high jump, all of that's gonna be included in the
Correct.
resurfacing of
High
that,
jump, pole vault, yes.
all of that extra.
Yeah.
What's the timeline?
The timeline is what the reason we're asking for approval tonight is to get us on the list. And so immediately after graduation, they would be started with the hope that it would be finished earlier in the summer and our kids would get a chance to get on it before football season actually.
For football.
Correct.
Okay, so then our practice 2-a-days during the summer, we'll move them off somewhere else or do something.
Well, hopefully by the time we get there, this will be completed. That's what I'm getting at. By the time we get to August when football starts, we're gonna be completed.
Okay, and then it doesn't include on some of this on the protection of the track surface after completion? Is that our
That's ours.
responsibility?
Like
And the
right now.
drainage is ours?
Yes. So-
Reading ahead, okay.
If you go out there right now, so if you go to a game last Friday night, where the benches are, there's a black mat.
Right,
Where the teams run onto the field, there's extra turf.
right,
And so that part's ours, meaning those pieces don't come with us.
Okay.
That's ours.
that's our part, okay.
So that's my questions too, like on the exclusions in the proposal. they exclude repair or resurfacing existing asphalt parking lot if damaged by truck traffic.
Correct.
So if they tear it up, we have to fix it.
Well, they've done it before and tear it up, so,
Okay.
yeah.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's,
I was just saying, like, if we had a subpar parking lot out there and they
Yeah.
tore it up and it wasn't capable of having trucks on it, that would be on us.
We didn't have any trouble when we did it 10 years ago.
Mm.
Okay. Is the maroon gonna rub off on us like the red rubs off on us?
no, that would be different.
I'm just thinking white drill team boots. I'm not a different.
In the picture, in the end zones, these are both labeled Columbia. In here, it just says Columbia on one end and Roughnecks on the other. Is it
Yeah,
where they-
that's what they want right there, Columbia on both ends.
I'm sorry.
Right, and so the deal is, and here's why, roughnecks, lady necks,
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Columbia.
Gotcha.
That's-
Gotcha.
Mhm.
I forgot. I always forget about it.
Mhm.
Anybody else have questions or comments?
It looks great.
All right, well then we'll take a vote. All in favor of considering the approval and addition of replacement of Griggs Field turf and track to Columbia High School bond project, raise your hand. Okay, it's unanimous. We did that for you, Jennifer.
I was in that meeting.
Okay,
Good.
very good.
Thank you for making the time, Mr. Broussard.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
appreciate
Good
it.
luck. Safe travels.
I will.
Thank you.
I'll let you know the score later if I get to that game.
Thank you. Well, I think Haley's playing in Kerrville tonight too, so we'll see y'all.
See you later, thank you. All right, we can move back up to the fun stuff, to the recognitions.
All right, we do have some 226 awards tonight, so Ms. Stowe.
Yes, we have 3 226 from the junior high. I think 2 of them are here. So Ms. Lucerio.
All right. So tonight I want Miss Diver and Miss Rayleigh to come on down. And Miss Yanes is our third one. She's at that football game that's currently happening right now, our last regular season game her son's playing. So tonight I want to recognize these. I have it as 3, so I want to include Miss Yanes as well because they're a team. Exceptional staff members that serve as the cornerstone of our school's welcoming environment, functioning as the first point of contact for families, students, and visitors. Their daily interactions shape the initial impression and ongoing relationship our community has with the school. Through their consistent professionalism and genuine care, they have established a reputation for excellence that extends far beyond their job descriptions. Ms. Rayleigh, Ms. Yanes, and Ms. Diver demonstrate remarkable versatility in their roles, seamlessly managing front office operations, parent communications, and campus safety protocols. They serve as master de-escalators, skillfully diffusing tense situations with students, teachers, and parents through patience, empathy, and effective communication strategies. Their expertise in conflict resolution has prevented countless situations from escalating, maintaining a peaceful, productive, and supportive learning environment. These dedicated professionals have consistently stepped up to fill gaps created by staff attrition, absorbing additional responsibilities without hesitation or complaint. They demonstrate exceptional initiative by identifying needs across campus and taking action to address them, often before being asked. Their willingness to go above and beyond their assigned duties exemplifies the spirit of service that makes our school community strong. I would love to take this moment in front of our school board to recognize Ms. Rayleigh, Ms. Yanes, and Ms. Diver with a special service award for their unwavering dedication to creating and maintaining a positive, inviting, and supportive school culture. Their contributions deserve acknowledgement and celebration as they truly embody the values we strive to instill in our students. We are truly blessed to have them as roustabouts. And Ms. Rayleigh.
All right. You want him this one there, right?
Well, I better will do this. No, I'll just give hers tomorrow.
Okay, you guys can meet tomorrow. Very good.
Yes,
Thank you.
recognition. Scotty, who's up?
First up is Barrow.
Barrow, Principal Galloway.
I have a lot more slides tonight than I normally do, so I had to make myself a little script so I can stay on my time limit. You're welcome, Miller. The first one is our positive office referrals. At this point, we have more positive office referrals than we do regular office referrals, so I just wanted to take a moment to recognize these kiddos who help keep our school climate positive and inclusive. All of those were given for showing compassion to their peers, and I think that's really important. The next is we celebrated homecoming week recently, and as you can see, our staff and students go all out and all in for dress-up days. I think it just reflects the campus culture and spirit that we have, so I wanted to showcase that. And then Fridays are full of energy and connection every single Friday, whether it's Fun or Fix It Friday or something that the teachers have planned. So I just wanted to highlight that. In the past few Fridays, 5th grade has concluded Hispanic Heritage Month with a fiesta celebrating the culture, food, and music. 2nd grade wrapped up their Ancient Greece unit with a feast and student-led Olympic Games. And then you can see our students holding up their popsicles. The attendance winners of the week have been getting bomb pops for having bomb attendance, just reinforcing that showing up every day. Next is our BarrowBots program. It is in full swing and it continues to grow every year. Currently, we're offering robotics to students in grades 2nd through 5th grade. We have a total of 61 students involved as of now. We have a 4th and 5th grade teams. This is 4 competitive teams, and we're needing to add a 5th due to participation. They practice every Thursday after school until 5:30, so that just shows a lot of dedication on their part. Then we have our 2nd and 3rd grade teams. We have 3 teams of 2nd and 3rd graders. They practice daily during their intervention block. But we are doing well, and we'll be hosting 2 competitions this spring, and that is going to be exciting. Then this past Friday, our PALs had a special visit from Mr. Joshua Bynum. He's the Cub Scout Master of Pack 560 from Sweeney. He led a session on flag etiquette and the significance behind the traditions. Our PALs raise and lower the flag every morning and afternoon, so this just helped deepen their understanding of the respect and the responsibility that comes with that. Next is our 5th grade class, our 5th grade ELA students. They wrapped up their Unit 2 study on the Renaissance. I think it's great that their teacher takes a moment to add in these fun, engaging lessons. The unit was focused on famous sculptors of the time, especially Michelangelo. So after reading and learning about his work and techniques, they created their own small sculptures to apply what they learned about Renaissance art and creativity. Next is Miss Jensen's class, which serves our high needs population. I just love that they stay actively involved in the campus life and participate in activities in ways in which they can. One of our fun Fridays, the students in her class made lemonade and served lemonade to every student and staff member in Barrow Elementary, and they enjoyed every bit of it, and I think everyone else did too. And then recently they went to Special Needs Day at Brazoria County Fair. They do that every year for our special needs population, and they have a great time every single time. And then last but not least, this Friday is our Red Ribbon Parade. I always extend the invite to you guys if you want to come out. We will be starting promptly at 9:30, but we'll start lining up in about 9:15, so you're more than welcome to come. If you do not want to walk the whole block with us, feel free to just stand in the car rider line and you can see us circle back in. So.
Thank you. Principal Kenny.
All right, we have a lot of pictures as well, and I'll kind of roll through them. Wanted to share our first pep rally. For homecomings, we were able to get back in the gym for pep rally pink out. Just wanted to share that. That was awesome. If you take a look at the top right-hand corner, you'll see a big mum, and we'll get to that one in just a minute. Because our floral design class, that's the next one, we're working on mums in class. So those are some of the mums they made, but that was floral design, so they did a great job of incorporating school spirit into the classroom and the activity. And the advanced floral design created the giant mum that you saw hanging in that, taller than the basketball hoop. So it was pretty impressive. You can see that they're using the Ag Shop stairs to construct it. The top's not on it on the left-hand picture, and then the final product is on the right. So they worked really hard on that one, and I think they did a great job.
Where's that thing at today?
I don't know what she did with it. I gave it back to Ag. I don't know if she took it apart.
I know, I bet it's upstairs in the ag.
It might still be an Ag, so I'll have to find out what she did with it. Yeah, we could keep it.
World records
I'm
on that.
telling you, man.
It's big.
It's like it's like the Christmas tree, you just put a bag around it, you don't let it decorate
A world record on that.
Then we know we had the Hall of Honor last weekend, so I just wanted to bring that. We did the meet and greet in the library beforehand, and I think the not trophies, but the plaques turned out really well, and then the presentation at halftime went really well, so I wanted to call that out. And of course, we know that was Battle of the Bernard, and that was a great result at the end of the game, so the next slide shows the final score. But we were also able to unveil our new Elmo costume. So Elmo was on the sideline. We got to introduce him at the pep rally prior to the Sweeney game, and so he was out there for that game, so it was pretty cool to introduce that. And a big win is always nice. Then we've got Ms. Barnett. She very rarely keeps her class in the classroom. They're always in the hallway doing something. So they're doing rate, distance, and time with matchbox cars and ramps, and then they also were doing resistance unit and used the parachutes to show what kind of resistance it is against gravity in the air. So getting them out of the classroom and doing experiments is always better than just sit and get. So we wanted to highlight some of the things in the classroom. Then we have our two that competed this morning in regional cross country. I have the results. Melanie Lobato, she ended up getting 64th out of 179 runners. She's a junior. And then we have Emmett Gibbs, who's a freshman. So he made regionals his freshman year, and he ended up getting 120th out of 181 runners. So they represented well, and I know that they're both looking to grow on that next year.
So just since you got that picture up there, I did get a text from somebody that was down there and said we had the nicest Suburban in the parking lot. Just saying. Just saying.
Well behaved.
Then we wanted to showcase tennis. First ever district champions, so they were very excited about that. Won their first round of playoffs, went to second round, and ended up losing in the second round, but it was a close match. But just the success they're having early on with this program, he's looking to build that program. They're getting more and more kids, and so they're excited now for spring tennis coming up. And then band performs in Pflugerville. They scored all ones this last weekend, so now they're going to area contest in Pflugerville this weekend, so we just wanted to showcase them a little bit as well. So a lot of good things going on with our kids.
Thank you, Mr. Ken. Principal Lasario.
All right, so we had the Brazoria County Fair last week, and we had some champions on campus. I was talking with Morgan about how many students represented, and she pulled some numbers. So in conjunction with the high school and a few elementary students that represented from Columbia, there were 190 projects submitted and 57 students participating. Of that, you see Cannon McCracken. He had the grand champion steer, and I believe in the paper they said he sold for $27,000. And I don't want to quote it. It was right in there. But he definitely represents our school well. Great kid, and super excited for him. That smile says it all. And then on your right, you have Zoe Birch, who's also a West Brazos Junior High student. She had grand champion broilers and was also in the winner's circle at Brazoria County Fair. We also had Jack Shackelford, had grand champion intermediate breeding heifer showman. And we had so many that placed first and in the top 5 that she was still working on the tabulations when I left today. So we're super excited and very proud of the way that our students represented West Brazos and being a roustabout.
So can I, before
Yes,
you go, so I did talk to Mr. McCracken this week, and I asked him, because the article said that his steer's name was Donald. And I said, you got to tell him the story. That's an odd name for a steer. And he goes, well, we decided we want to make Brazoria County Fair great again, and we didn't want to name him Brandon. I said, I agree. That was a good choice.
That was good. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, and so our CTE group, our teachers have gotten together and created a newsletter for each month to kind of showcase the work that they're doing in the background. And I thought this was a great representation that I wanted to share with everyone. Every year, our ag department, or it's Ms. Campbell, has the students, the 8th grade agriculture class makes their emblem, and they use their own creativity to bring in a representation. And we have great turnout from our students, and they are so creative, and they are so proud to bring those in. So those were turned in this month. Bout TV is going strong. If y'all haven't checked it out, that is a great way to see the inside scoop of what's happening at West Brazos Junior High. So you'll hear from the students on their favorite foods, what's going on, their favorite activities, and you'll also get an inside view of a lot of different things happening. And now our weather series they're getting better and better at the backgrounds and the green screen. So it's a lot of fun to see. We also had our students go to the Brazoria County Fair for their field trip, and you can see by these smiles, it was an amazing day. Our students got to get on stage and sing. They were able to see the animals, and they all got hats and cotton candy, and just a great experience. They were very tired, but very happy when they got back, and so were the teachers. So we appreciate the ability to be able to participate in that every year. We also had junior high night at the Sweeney game, which I agree was a great turnout. And we had our pep rally that day. So we've had 2 pep rallies so far, and I've been extremely happy to see the amount of the community coming out to support our roustabouts and the amount of the work that they put in to be ready for those performances, and just being able to acknowledge them. You see the pizza game and the balloons. Our PTO puts on a game every pep rally, and that's one of the most fun parts of it, is being able to see the teachers and the students compete against each other. And we even had some 6th graders get to come out if they had all A's, or we pulled tickets if they had 0 referrals, and they got to come out and represent for 6th grade. So that was good fun, and you see a lot of school spirit happening in those pictures. And then finally, another plug for the West Brazos Market. That's tomorrow night. We'll have tomorrow, and then we'll have a follow-up the next Wednesday. So we have some really good watermelon, and I think it was about 4 pallets that they delivered. So we're excited to be able to feed that line. We met about 270 families or households that were documented last time. So it's great fun. I recommend coming out and seeing our community come. They come and share smiles with our students, and it's just a really, really great time. So that'll happen tomorrow, 4:30 to 6:30.
Thank you. Principal Bolton.
All right, well, we'll all think alike. So I have very similar picks to everyone else, so I will go as fast as I can. But the first thing is we too celebrated homecoming week with our Roughneck Spirit, so wanted to share those smiles in maroon and white with you on the first slide. And then I wanted to recognize our students also that participated in the Brazoria County Fair and had special recognitions. We had Amy Lee Garcia, who was in the Talent Show Junior Solo and got 3rd place. We also had Cooper Copeland, who was in the 5th grade art competition, got reserve best of class. And then R.C. Yance got all around high points and was very proud to show me his buckle that he brought to school that I had to highlight as well. Then we have several, attendance initiatives that go on at West Columbia Elementary School as well, but a new one that we've added, which has been supported by our communities and schools, is a raffle. And so this 9 weeks at the end, those students who had perfect attendance were entered into the raffle, and these are the students that won 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place, and the first prize included 4 free tickets to the football game on Friday night. So we appreciate their support and hope that will continue to help us maintain good attendance. On the next slide, I wanted to highlight, very similar to the things that Vero was talking about, is we're loving our new curriculum and all the opportunities that it's giving our kids to have some real hands-on culminating activities to finish out their activities. So like in the top left-hand corner, those kids are tasting Cuban recipes when they finish their book about Letters from Heaven that was all about the grandmother who cooked Cuban recipes. And then the bottom left is their Greek festival from when they studied Greek mythology. You can see they also did an Olympics as well, and that's their 1st, 2nd, 3rd place on the picnic table. I thought that was creative. In the center, we have pictures of our kindergarten students taking a sensory walk, learning about their senses through their feet, and then trying to write with blindfolds on. So they're learning all about their senses. And then we have our 2nd graders are learning about the War of 1812. So we have the hallway decorated all in the War of 1812. It's pretty phenomenal. You have to come see it. A volunteer, Mr. Umber, came and did it for us. He's a former art teacher, so he did a spectacular job. And we are really working on our behavior in 5th grade. And so our students have a new Wildcatter store, and they're earning their Wildcatter bucks. And this is our student, Mikhail, holding his proud wallet full of all his Wildcatter bucks that he's been earning so he can go to that Wildcatter store. And then we wanted to share that we've had some volunteers come to West Columbia Elementary School and teach us about the Constitution from the Constitution Compass organization. They spoke to 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, did a wonderful job. We were very appreciative of their visit. And last but not least, we were so grateful to the West Columbia Fire Department to come out and teach our kids about fire safety and let the kids go through the firehouse as well. Thank you.
No, thank you. Principal Cohee.
Mine is compressed to 2 slides. I'm gonna be short and sweet. All right, so one of the things that we celebrated is Johnny Appleseed Day. So we had 2 students who had Johnny Appleseed shirts made and wore them proudly. And then on this day, we classrooms do a lot of activities with apples. They measure how long they are, how many apples long they are. They try different apples, apple jam, apple butter, all the things apples. It's a fun day. And then they make homemade applesauce. So that is Johnny Appleseed Day. And then my next slide. We had our Wild Peach Fire Department came out to see us. They had a blast. Our kids get to sit in the fire truck, every single one, and they are very careful with making sure we do not exclude anybody. But I do want to shout out our fire department because one of my drains in the front just had a bunch of debris in it, and I asked them if they would come and hose it out, and so they did. It took about 5 minutes. I thought I could remove the grate myself, and my hand got stuck in the grate, so good thing they were there to help me get out. They didn't have to cut me out or anything, but it was fun. It's always a good time at Wild Peach Elementary.
People there.
Where's that picture?
Yeah, we didn't get that one.
Thank you. Good job, all of you.
Yep.
Do we have any citizens to be heard? Did we check? Nobody? Okay, we don't have anyone. We're gonna move our first action item up so we don't keep Jenna here all night. I know she's having a ball, but we're gonna let you work and then go home and rest. So we're gonna do number 1, consider approval of financial report and audit for the year ended June 30th to 2025. We'll let you speak before we make a motion.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, I want to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Jenna Coulter, proud CHS class of 2010. Feels forever ago. So let's not count the years. I want to thank Julie and her team. As always, they had everything ready. We couldn't be here this close to year end without their support and organization. It was just phenomenal. One more thing is this looks different than it ever has before. This is a draft. I think Steven said he was gonna let y'all know, but the federal government has not released the compliance supplement yet. Therefore, we cannot issue this audit until the federal compliance supplement is released and the government shut down. So we have no idea when that's gonna happen. So tonight, I'm going to present this to you in draft form. It is not anything that you can vote on yet. Nothing's gonna change. We just have to wait for the government to tell us we are allowed to issue it. So that's why it looks different. None of this stuff is gonna change when it does get released, the compliance supplement, but just wanna preface why it looks this way. First things first, there was 2 letters that were on top of your stack. The first one is stapled. This is our letter to the board. It is a standard letter. It's probably been the same the last several years, but it states that we did not have any issues performing the audit. Everything was as expected, where there was no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses. If there was any of those, it would be listed here, but you also would have heard about it before now. This letter also highlights, there's 2 bullet points on the bottom of the first page and 1 on the top of the second. These detail out our estimates that we used within the audit. So there's the allowance for doubtful accounts, which is always an estimate, the useful life of all capital assets, and then the pension and OPEB numbers. These are all estimates, so you can't nail those down. The second letter is 1-page letter. Oh, sorry, back to that one. The journal entries that we had for the year are attached to this letter as well. This next letter is a 1-page, that's our client advisory letter. These are just a few comments that we are given to just areas of improvement. They're not slaps on the wrist, they're not docking, it's just some things we noticed, hey, this needs to be improved before it could get really bad. Two, the very first, there's one section, employee compensation and benefits. We had 2 instances of some employee W-4s not matching what was in the system. And then we had 3 instances where there was new steps on the new W-4 that were either checked or unchecked, and that didn't match in the system. So this is really just for having a little more control around what your employees are getting withheld on for their individual taxes. The second paragraph, we are just noting that there is not a timekeeping system in place within the district, and that just opens a door of things you don't want to get involved in. There's a lot of federal grants that require timesheets for time and effort, and there's just frankly not anything to support that. The main issue that we see is you don't want one employee coming in here and saying, they didn't pay me for what I worked, and you have nothing to support.
Okay.
Then you get the Department of Labor in here, and that is something that you don't want to do, because the Department of Labor can make your life a living HELL. So that's just an area that we've noticed over the last several years still hasn't been fixed, so we're putting in the letters another time of, we really need to take note of this and kind of make a step forward. Okay, now on to the audit. Pages 11 through 14 is our opinion letter. This letter is stating that everything after it is materially and factually correct. The first section says opinions. There's 2 paragraphs. The second paragraph starts off, in our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects. This is the wording for an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion you can receive for an audit. Pages 15 through 27 is the MD&A. This is what we like to call the highlight reel for the non-accounting minds. You won't fall asleep reading these few pages, but you will fall asleep with the rest. The financial highlights section at the top of page 15, 4 bullet points. The third bullet point is what I want to point out. The unassigned fund balance for general fund ended at 10.8 million, or 34.95% of general fund expenditures. This is saying that unassigned fund balance for general fund is about a 4-month reserve. We typically like to see local governments 4 to 6 months, and so you're right there where you need to be for that. Pages 29 and 30 are the government-wide financial statements. These are on the full accrual basis of accounting, which include capital outlay debt. It's a little different than the budget type thing. So the budget financials, which is what we call the fund financials, are on pages 31 through 34. So this is where it details out the major funds, which is general fund, debt service fund, and capital projects fund. And then that 4th column on page 31 says other governmental funds. Page 94 in your report will show you all the other funds that total up to this column. It's all your special revenue funds and the remaining. You can see that unassigned fund balance for general fund towards the bottom in the first column, the 10,855,000. So that's your unassigned fund balance for general. The proprietary fund statements are continuing on in that section. The notes to the financials are pages 42 through 79. I'm really not going to read these because you really will fall asleep. But I do want to point out note 5 on page 60. This is the capital asset note. So there was lots of changes this year with all the school, bond, everything. You will see in the transfer retirement column a decrease in construction in progress for the 20 million. That is the phase 1 of the high school that got marked as completed. So we had moved that out of CIP and we moved it into building. So it is in process, it's being depreciated. So this is, I wanted to point this out. just because I know there's been a lot of changes, the additions to construction in progress, this is including the rest of the high school and then those few other projects like the roofing projects and I don't remember the other ones. Electrical upgrade, thank you. Page 83. Page 83 is your general fund budget to actual. So you can see where you came in final compared to the final budget. Everything looks great. Expenditures came in under budget. Revenues came in a little under budget, but you never know for those, so. Page 94 starts that big combining schedule of all the other funds that are considered other governmental funds. If you look at page 94, Fund 240 for the National School Breakfast and Lunch Program, there is that $477,000 in receivables. That's that disbursement from TDA that was withheld until all that stuff got handled. Julie said it has been received, but as of 6:30 it hadn't, so it's why.
We've gotten a letter.
Oh, you've gotten a letter saying it's coming. So that's that number. That number is normally not that large, which that's the reason it is. And then if you turn to page 98, same 240 fund. The very bottom, the ending fund balance is 1.1 million. It's the same thing as last year. National School Breakfast and Lunch can't have over 6 months of expenses in it. So Stephen and Chris are already aware that there's gonna be a spend down plan that's gonna have to be put in place again for child nutrition funds to get it to that 6-month mark. We're not worried, we just wanted to point it out. The rest of the pages are just more budget to actuals. The federal awards section starts on page 112 or 113. This is the section that's holding up everything. These last few pages, because of the government. Pages 113 and 114, this is our internal control letter. It is stating that of all the federal awards we looked at, we didn't see any internal control issues. It's not an opinion, but we didn't see any problems. The opinion letter for federal awards is the next 2 pages, or 3, 115 to 117. Our opinion on the federal award program is unmodified, which is the best opinion you can receive. This year, we did test child nutrition again. That got us the most coverage that we needed. It had the most revenue, so didn't find any problems. And hopefully Cynthia didn't want to kill me, because it was the second year in a row I had to. Apparently she did, but I'm still here, so. Hopefully next year it won't be child nutrition again. Without all the ESSER money and things, kind of just had to go back to the same 3, but. The last 2 pages, 122 and 123, this is the CFA, the Schedule of Expenditures of Federal Awards. It shows all the federal awards that were received for the year. So out of the 3 million, we tested the 1.6 for, National School Breakfast and Lunch. And with that, anybody have any questions?
Good to hear that.
It's too many numbers.
Any questions? We can take it
So
home.
if we have repeats, you said we had some repeat findings on, what, those 3 bullet points?
Talking about in the letter?
Yeah, where was,
Yes.
where that, you
I
did.
think it's right here. Yeah, it's just, the 2 paragraphs, the single page.
So when does it become a problem if they repeat several times?
It really only becomes a problem for us, like financially, is when there's a material problem. This is more of a control aspect, more of a, we just kind of wanted to let you know that this is happening and you could have someone come in, cause a ruckus, ask questions. You wouldn't be aware, why didn't we tell you? It's just kind of gonna help you CYA in a sense. For findings for us is if we saw misuse of money, misuse of funds, it's aware, it's not getting fixed, and then it just keeps compounding. That's really when we start making you put a plan in place of, if you don't fix it, we could issue not an unmodified opinion, an adverse opinion, a significant deficiency. And when you have to get hit with a significant deficiency, that's not fun either. That's a whole new set of letters and really just bigger problems on the financial side of things.
Gotcha.
But these are more of just control type issues we found.
Employee compensation benefits, the problems that you found, have you ever found these problems before? They repeat as well?
There's about every 2 or 3 years, there's probably 1 or 2.
But you only tested 40, were they random, or did you kind of?
We do 40, we try to do as many we can for federal. So we tested child nutrition this year, so we try to do as many child nutrition as we can. But then we also try to include some state comp ed and general fund employees as well, just to cover those bases. But part of the federal audit or single audit is testing internal controls around those federal funds. So that's why we kind of gear it towards whatever major program we're testing. So it is 40, it is random. She sends us the payroll list and we kind of just scroll and stop and highlight and scroll and stop and highlight and pick 40. It's very haphazardly selected.
Okay.
And we do 2 separate payroll cycles as well.
Okay.
How many non-salary employees we got?
I would say, 150, 200? Non-salary that aren't teachers, hourly employees.
Yeah.
150, 200.
Are you gonna do the input time on timesheets or what? How does that work? Or is it 40-hour week guaranteed or? How you track overtime?
They can't have overtime unless it's a written approval, prior approval.
They can submit overtime.
They can, and usually it's the bus drivers that have the overtime.
And maintenance workers sometimes, depending on what's
Maintenance
going
will too.
on.
Now for child nutrition, we did part of the requirements for child nutrition is time and effort. Child nutrition does keep time on paper by themselves. So we were able to Connie was able to send me their paper kept timesheets. But it's also 2025. Why are we keeping timesheets on paper? So.
Well, the answer to that was when we still had timekeeping, we were still doing timekeeping and paper copies as well.
We're doing both. We were doing both.
Yeah. So the only thing's changed is we don't have the punch-in clock. Hopefully Skyward's gonna help us change that. The big, right? Because quite honestly, we're doing double the work and it's still the same. We've taken the time clock out, we're still doing paper copies just like we were before. We were taking the punch in, punch out, looking at the computer, writing it on paper and turning it in. So, again, it's something we need to fix, but we have to upgrade our financial software to allow that, and hopefully Skyward's gonna get us there.
That's what that's in progress.
Yes, this is not, this is a calculated decision. We're telling you, we gotta go there. We can't fix this problem until we go there. Because the system you would think you could just punch it in and it would upload into the timekeep system, right? Oh, no. Then coordinate.
We got things in motion getting it.
Right, it's inside their system, it's not like an outside service.
And the non-salary employees will be access to that Skyward situation too.
Everyone.
They'll have to.
Yeah.
But again, the thing she's talking about, until we get the whole management software system upgraded, we're fighting to lose a battle.
But we're working on that
Yes,
now.
we are. We're now setting it up.
Didn't we say that'd be ready to go like the first of the year?
April.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a whole year transition, but.
Yes, we're working on it right now.
Oh, this next April?
Yeah.
April
No.
1 should go live. It's not a simple process. Just don't be. It's not.
It'll be worth it though.
Let me go from Windows 10 to Windows 11, oh
Anybody have any other questions? So we can't vote on this, we'll wait.
No, but I want to point out just a number on page
Yeah.
33, because while she told you the fund balance, the net change in fund balance this year, where we thought we had approved the deficit budget, we had an increase of fund balance of $325,000. Just want to throw that out there.
Page what?
Just say the number.
What number in here, huh?
That doesn't include that payback on the child nutrition, right?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it is in there?
Yes,
Okay.
it's in there, it's a receipt.
Yeah.
So,
Government fund balance.
So now, but
on page 33, it's, it'll
The
say
black-
1,200.
Third to the bottom on the first column, 325, 656.
Page 33.
You were expecting that number to be a negative based on the budget. That it is very
Good.
we just highlight that as a miracle.
I know a lot of sleep was lost over that number, so.
Yes, a little bit of anxiety to go with the loss.
So you'll have to come back when, or will she not have to come back?
The final report will come back to you,
Right.
but like she said, the numbers won't change.
Without the draft,
So
okay.
unless we have some specific concerns or questions, then it'll just come to you.
Yeah, we've been told that Department of Education programs will not be changing. We have a draft compliance supplement, and they've said only certain ones. Why they can't split that out and give us the ones that aren't gonna change, because that would be too smart, I guess.
They're not working.
Exactly. So we know that this stuff is correct, it's in compliance, the numbers aren't gonna change, it's just, we just can't. So I'll let Julie know when we get word that it's out.
And they postponed our reporting requirements.
Yes.
Where we usually have to have it submitted to TA by November 28th. That's been pushed to January 15th or something like that, February 15th.
February 26th
for this year, so it's been pushed as well.
Well, thank you for your work for us, because I know that was long and tedious, and we appreciate y'all. You've worked, Kimber Masters worked for us for a very long time, and we appreciate you.
We do appreciate it. I like getting to come.
Oh, that's right.
My commute's a lot smaller when I get to come here.
You're always welcome.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. All right.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go back up to reports. We made Justin wait a long time. Now we're gonna let you go here in a minute.
Well, I want to start out with the E3, the LED mechanical project that we've talked about at last meeting. Last meeting, we were waiting on 2 chillers for the junior high and 2 pumps for West Columbia Elementary. One of each has taken place already. Last weekend, they came in and installed the chiller. We're waiting on factory startup, which will happen this coming Tuesday. Once that takes place, we're ensured that that chiller is up and operational. Then we'll work on the second one, getting that in, which we anticipate on the following weekend, and then start up on the 4th. Then we can relinquish the rental and get that out of here. The roofing projects, those are completed with the exception of West Columbia Elementary, the sheet metal panels around the sundial. We're getting the schedule on that, but both campuses otherwise complete. We did, throughout all this process, the LED and lighting, or excuse me, the LED and mechanical, we were getting some incentive monies back from the it's changed now, Compass program, which works with Texas, New Mexico. They look at the upgrades that we've done, and they take into consideration new equipment, lights, mechanical, and how that factors in, and they offer us money back on that, which Julie, I know you've gotten several checks.
We've gotten about 66,000. I think we got another one
Yeah.
in the last few days of 20-something.
They come in stages as certain areas of these projects are finalized and then signed off on, so that's kind of helping too.
Could you make sure I get a list of those and I'll put it in your weekend board letter so that they know,
Okay.
I mean, a total.
Julie, I'll get with you on that, because I can't keep up with which ones are which. But other than that, it's just a routine day in maintenance.
Routine day in maintenance.
Everyday thing.
Every day something new, but still the same.
Anybody have any questions for Justin? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
Mr. Miller?
So I have the best report for you tonight. I have nothing for you. Other than what is, you'll find Chief's report in your folder. Nothing moving and shaking in the safety and security world this month, other than starting in December, we'll start completing safety audits on all the campuses so that we can meet our October reporting deadline for this safety audit cycle. So we'll have safety and security meeting, the fall safety and security committee meeting, I believe the last week of November. So, and you will get an invite to that when we get a little bit closer. That's all I have.
All right, we're short and sweet. Instructional update.
Not one tonight, so.
Okay. We got a good report from the principals on what's
True.
going on. Very thorough and repetitive and consistent. Quarterly investment report.
You should have a packet in there. We had a total interest for the quarter of $317,000. The interest rate, of course, it's slowly dropping. It's around 4.2% on most of the fund. On most of it is coming from 167,000 of that is coming from your bond money. So we had about 100,000 for general fund.
Any questions?
What percent we're at on
About 4.2, that's the Texas class. That's where most of our money sits for bond and for general fund until we need it. And then we come to prosperity and we're only, I think theirs is around 2% when it moves there.
Any questions? All right. We're flying here. Financial report.
Done?
Kind of done, yeah. I mean, we're 25% through the year. You can see on the financial statements, our expenses are running around 20%. So we're in good shape.
All right, our bond report.
So Columbia High School projects coming to a close. Drumali's working on the interior courtyard, working their way out, and as they do, they'll be taking care of the courtyard, the turf, the planting areas, coming out, awnings, the seating, and as they pull out of the courtyard, there's some additional concrete safety fencing that will be done. The gate, pouring concrete to the back entrance of the welding building. So we're getting very close, probably within a month and a half of Drumala being gone. On the Ag Barn project, we're in the process of getting permits with the county right now. So I don't have an update since they've applied. So
How's the courtyard area looking?
it's good.
It's getting there?
It's getting there. Again, remember, there's no grass, right? It's all concrete, pavers, turf, and then a few planting areas. So
Pavers going in yet, or are we still on hold? That's at last.
that's last.
So I figured that would be last.
Yeah, the pavers that Progress sold will be the last thing to go.
I guess the new entrance and the parking lot. Parking lot's always full.
Parking lot's full, but right now the traffic patterns is working. We probably, again, that new entrance was gonna be the parent drop-off, but we probably will leave things the way they are until 36 is done, which could be another, how long? Right? So it's actually working very, very well. And it, Officer Dvorak, or Chief Dvorak? I mean, we don't have any problems in the morning, do we?
No, sir.
So everything seems to be working good the way it is. It's actually, it's even safer than we designed, to be honest with you.
It's the most remarkable, visible change. I think it looks good. It's very good. All right, you ready to move into our action items? We can skip down to 3. We've taken care of 1 and 2. So number 3 is to consider acceptance of supplemental project funds under the American Energy Institute High Emission Vehicle Replacement Project. It's our buses. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Becky makes a motion to consider it and put it. All right, Mr. Christus seconds. All right, you want to give us some information on that?
Yeah, so if you'll see attached, that's the approval letter. So just to give you some background, it seems like over 2 years ago, we were talking about buses, and we were sitting here, and at that time, if you'll remember, we bought 2 regular route buses. We discussed gas, propane, diesel, right? Travel mileage, warranties, and we made a decision at that time. There weren't any grants. We bought 2 gasoline engine buses. You know, it takes a while to get them in. Soon as they came in, one of them was in an accident when construction on 36 started. If you remember, it was totaled. We got some insurance money for it, but not all of it, right? And so over, I guess, a year and a half, we bought 2.5 buses and have 2, right, because of the difference in insurance money. But at the same time, years ago, we said that that we would look towards the 2 special need buses when some type of grant became available. Well, here it is. You can see this is your award letter that we've been awarded $220,000 toward the purchase of 2 buses. We'll be trading in 2 special needs diesel buses for, and if you'll pull up the quote, here's the quote for the 2 buses. Ray, these buses, are they propane?
Propane buses, yes, sir.
So we'd be going back to 2 propane, and if you remember at that time, we talked about that if we were gonna continue the propane, we needed to continue on the shorter routes. Not, you know, we didn't want to add more propane buses to the long routes and we would take on buses, we would take on extracurricular trips, that we wanted to add them in the shorter areas, which would be the special needs. So you can see the price tag on 2 special need buses is just over $320,000, of which we would be getting $220,000 in a grant for that. So the purchase of 2 special needs would cost us right at $100,000. So 2 years of planning, here we are. So if we still want to do it, I think now's the time. Ray has, you have Ray Ornalis, our transportation director, is here. He's spec'd those buses out. We've asked him to get what he wants, what we need, meets all the requirements. So
I can tell you this, that I was told that the buses that we're ordering now, all the buses are good. We can expect a major increase in price over the next few months. So if we can get this locked in now, it may take us 8 months to get the bus, but we'd lock it in at this
well,
price.
I was fixing to ask you what the lead time is. So you're thinking 8 months?
Well, looking like about June, so yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually talking about next school year right now, so. So, and that's one of the things, so you know, you're talking about, we don't pay for the buses until we get them. So what budget are we talking about? We could be talking about the 26-27 budget and not the 25-26 budget.
So with the 100,000 difference, we're gonna have to amend the budget somewhere on the train.
Well, what would happen is it would just come out, if for some reason, in the budget year, you tack it to the budget year, and if you didn't have the expenditures, it would come from fund balance.
Remember, we do have those funds that we put in that one account.
200.
Yeah.
200,000.
The 200,000, we put everything in there that we had extra, that was not extra, but.
Well, it's a board control account, it's the facilities.
It's the facilities.
It's the facilities, which could be transferred to pay for these
Yes.
when they come in. If they come in before June 30th.
Feel good about the 100,000?
Yeah, because all we have to do is we can do a budget amendment when it comes in. It'll probably be on the last budget amendment. We just put it in function 34. And so, yeah, we have the money in there.
Greg, how many of the propane buses do we have right now?
10.
10.
Yeah. And of these 10, half of them are sped buses, and they're all, well, they're real high in mileage right now. And in fact, that's one of our things is, the scary things is we've been at a point where we've had like, if we have one more bus breaks down, one more of our sped buses break down, we were gonna be in some serious trouble. So, because we had some in Houston getting worked on, some here. So, real important that we can get this done. We're gonna be getting rid of 2 buses that are older than 2006 in exchange for 2 new buses. Those buses they just need to be gone. So we're getting a great deal.
They give us trade-in
Well,
for
they
that?
give us the 220, we give them the buses.
Okay, all right. That's the trade-in
That's the
value.
trade-in value.
Okay, all right.
So I would call it very high. I would call it very
All
high.
right, well, I thought we were shooting for a little trade-in plus the grant.
No.
Now, what we have to do is we have to destroy the buses. Destroy
Or
2
the
buses,
transmission, yeah.
and that's part of the grant, is we have to take 2 buses to Houston, they destroy them, and then we get that for
So-
the grant.
Got a question for you while you're in the audience. I did go tour with Mr. Galloway, the transportation building, and I know you got it down there, but I didn't see it, but the storage of your propane for your propane buses, you have a big old tank down there, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's in the back left-hand corner, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't, we switched companies, we went to this propane company that we have, we pay 35 cents above market value, which right now we're paying about just a little bit over $1 a gallon for propane.
Really?
Yeah, we got that kind of locked in. We were paying almost $2.50 a gallon. And
When
we get about 6 miles to the gallon on the propane buses.
When we went to propane years ago, it was first on a little skid. And I want to say it was like filled up almost daily, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And now we've got a permanent tank in there.
How long, you have any idea how long you're locked in on that dollar?
It's on it fluctuates, you're talking about the fuel?
Yes.
It fluctuates, I think I looked it up today, and I think it was 97 cents plus 35 cents a gallon is what we paid. So today it was 97 cents.
Okay, so when it gets colder, cooler month stuff, and they start burning more, we could be paying a little more then?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any more questions? No? All right, we have a motion by Jackie and a second by Greg to accept the supplemental project funds under the American Energy Institute of High Emission Vehicle Replacement Project. And do we want to add the purchase of the bus? Do we need to put that in there?
Well, it says replacement project, and so we assumed that meant we would replace it.
Okay.
When you can just say per quote, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, for the quote.
Okay. All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. There's no opposition. Got that, Jennifer? All right. Now we need to consider approving early release on February 6th for UIL.
Correct. So yearly, for many years, our what we call A+ UIL, which is the academic competition for grades 2 through 8. We've hosted and been involved in that. It's generally Columbia, Bay City, Sweeney, El Campo, Needville, Stafford that participate. With Columbia High School renovations being finished, our plan is to go back and host the main part of this competition. To do that, we're asking for an early release on Friday, February 6th, and then that would allow us to begin that competition at 2 p.m. Because of the new facility, Columbia High School, we used to have 2 waves of competition. Now we'll actually be able to have 1 wave of competition and get that done much quicker and much easier and much more organized. So we would ask that this is a good thing for us. It's something that I personally take a little bit of pride in doing and being involved in. And so I would ask that you would approve an early release day for February 6th.
All right.
What day of the week is that?
Friday.
All right, Ray's made a motion. Do I have a second? Jan, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There's no opposition. All right. We need to talk about nominations for TASB Board of Directors.
If
There's a lot of information in there on that, not to have a candidate. Were you pushing for somebody? Anybody feeling political, wants to jump in the ring?
Just sharing it. If there's no motion, y'all can move on.
Anybody have any input or feedback about it? Did you look at all the paperwork?
I got a little cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I skimmed it.
That was a lot.
Alright, we're gonna just skip over that one. I don't think there's a motion on that. Okay, so our last is our consent agenda. We approve the minutes from September 16th of the regular meeting and September 29th of the special meeting. Approve budget amendments and donations that were listed for us to look at, and approve the 2025-26 WCE West Columbia Elementary book list. Does anybody want to pull any of those items to talk about?
Book list.
All right.
So I guess from a previous meeting, I'm a little bit confused. I thought we didn't have no input on book list. Can
No.
we clarify that?
No, well, okay. You do have input, meaning no instructional materials or books, library books, books brought to classroom can be brought into the school and used without the list coming to you. Okay, if you remember what the board policy was there were 2 choices. Number 1, we would follow the same guidelines, which is we have campus committees, so forth. And so what this has gone, it's gone through the campus committee, it's gone through the principal, it's gone through central office, and now it's coming to you, saying all of these people, all the way back, have said, yes, all of these meet the guidelines for these books to come into use in the school. Or the other option would have been that we create this committee of representation across the district, and the books come there, and then the committee approves it, and if the committee approves it, then they go in. And so we kept the regular route, which is campus, central administration, and now it's coming to you. When we bring it to you, we're saying, yes, all of those guidelines have been met in these books. We're asking for you to approve for these books to be used. Now, most of these are, each campus has done a book fair, right? And so life's different, right? Here's a book fair. Most of you have bought books at book fair before, and you've gone through and you bought 5 books to put in the 2nd grade classroom. Well, those 5 books can't be put in that 2nd grade classroom anymore until they get on the list, get checked out, and get approved. Life's changed. A teacher can't just bring a book from a class and put it on the shelf anymore. It has to be on this list and be approved. So life's a little bit different. And so this is the first round of this, of what we're doing. We also have groups that wanted to make donations to the school. Guess what? Those folks have to go through that same process. You can't just donate books to school anymore. It doesn't happen. There's a process. And so we have 2 things here. We have a donation and we have a book fair for you. So this is what we have.
So this one thing says, book donations for after-school events.
There were actually 2 donations. We haven't had our book fair yet. It's next week, but there were 2 different entities that donated books. One of them we're going to pass out after school, so it is going through a different process. But the one he referred to is the ones we're gonna hand out during the day because they were for specific grade level students. And we don't have an after-school program specifically for that one grade level in which we can hand it out to them. But it still had to be on the website for 30 days, no opposition, y'all's approval, before we can put the books in the kids' hands.
That answer your questions, Mr.?
I guess, but, we'll go from here.
Okay, there won't be a vote on each item unless you pull it out.
I'm pulling it out.
All right, we're pulling it out. Okay, so the action items include the minutes from the special meeting and the regular meeting and the budget amendments and donations. All in favor of consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, that passes.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
On the consent agenda?
I
did.
Ray?
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
Yeah, that's me.
Jana, did you make the second?
I did.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that was the one before that. I did.
Okay.
You're good, I'm sorry.
Sorry. And we voted? Yes, okay. So would someone like to make a motion to approve the book list?
Yeah, we're approving it or talking
Yeah,
about it?
well, we've already talked about it.
Okay, so we're
We're
considering it
gonna,
talk.
we're gonna make the motion and then we'll talk about it again. So Ray's making the motion.
I'll second.
Okay, Jackie, is there further discussion? Do you want, no? Okay. Anybody else? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Mr. Sisson, Ebner, Gocher, and Reed. All opposed? Mr. Cresta opposed. We're doing this because we have to list the vote now. You have to put the names down of how each individual board member voted. This is new to this year after the legislature, so we're just making sure Miss Jennifer has the easy time of getting it all written down. Okay, so that sends us to closed session. We'll adjourn for closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code, the Open Meetings Act. We will consider the employment of professional personnel, discuss the resignation or retirement of professional personnel, and discuss the performance of personnel. We won't make any decisions in voting